Keeping him honest now on a very specific campaign promise that then candidate Obama made back in 2008. That when he was elected, he would run the White House, not Washington lobbyists. The question tonight is he breaking that promise and using a loophole as an escape hatch? Here's the pledge candidate Obama made during his primary campaign against Hillary Clinton.
We will not take a dime from Washington lobbyists or special interest PACs. We're going to change how Washington works. They will not fund my party. They will not run our White House, and they will not drown out the voices of the American people when I'm president of the United States of America. We've got to change how business is done in Washington. This is the major disagreement that I have with Senator Clinton. Yeah, she's a smart and capable person, but she is of Washington, and she believes that lobbyists aren't a problem. I think they are. I would not take money from federal lobbyists. They have not funded my campaign. They will not run our White House, and they will not drown out the voices of the American people when I'm president of the United States of America. But if you are ready for change, then we can go ahead and tell the lobbyists their days of setting the agenda in Washington are over. They have not funded my campaign, they will not run my White House, and they will not drown out the voices of the American people when I'm president of the United States of America.
Well, tell that to Steve Ricchetti, who is the new counsel to Vice President Biden. Steve Ricchetti's last job was running a lobbying firm. For years, he lobbied in Washington for GM, Eli Lilly, the American Banking Association, and others seeking to influence government policy. So how, you might ask, did he end up with a senior job in the administration? Well, it turns out in January of 2009, President Obama started backing away from his pledge, saying, quote, when you were a lobbyist entering my administration, you won't be able to work on matters you lobbied on. But keep him honest, there's very little the White House is involved with that Steve Ricchetti or others in his line of work haven't lobbied on, such as banking, hospitals, and the auto industry. The White House, though, is offering another justification. You can decide if it's a fig leaf or not. Ricchetti deregistered as a lobbyist in 2008, even though he continued to run his lobbying firm. So officially, he was not a lobbyist anymore. Dana Milbank's column in the Washington Post got this on the radar. I spoke with him and Democratic strategist Hillary Rosen shortly before airtime. Dana, it seems the White House can appoint this guy Ricchetti because he deregistered as a lobbyist before President Obama took office. But, I mean, for all intents and purposes, he was still a lobbyist, right?
Right, Anderson, and that's the problem with the influence industry in this town. Relatively few people who practice this business are actually technically lobbyists. So we live in this absurd situation where the president can get around his own ban on hiring lobbyists by hiring the president of a lobbying firm. So somehow that's better. It just sort of shows how deep this town is into the influence business.
Well, Hillary, I mean, isn't the president opening himself up to just a charge of hypocrisy on this? I mean, saying you're not going to hire a lobbyist and then hiring a guy who's a lobbyist in everything but name only?
But he's not, first of all, he's not a lobbyist in everything but name only. He did not talk to members of Congress about issues on behalf of clients, period.
But he ran a lobbying firm.
That's the definition of a lobbying firm. No, he had lobbyists in his firm, but he did not do that. So here's the other thing, which is this kind of stigma about lobbyists. First of all, I personally think this whole issue is kind of silly, because guess what? You want to have people who know how to get stuff done.
No, I'm not arguing that point, but this is a president who has specifically said, I'm not going to have lobbyists. So it's one thing, you can't now argue, say, well, it's silly to have said that. But he attacked Hillary Clinton.
I'm saying I think it's silly to say.
Right, I know, but the Obama campaign attacked Hillary Clinton in 2008 for taking money from him because he was a lobbyist then.
Well, he was a lobbyist in years prior to 2008, but since then he has not lobbied, which is the rule, 2 years of no lobbying. So that means that you get all of the benefit of the experience of a lobbyist without the current corporate ties, and that's an important thing. Steve Ricchetti is a good guy. This is kind of a crazy thing to be taking off after him for.
Dana, in your column, you wrote, quote, only in today's Washington could a president circumvent his own ban on hiring lobbyists by hiring the head of a lobbying firm. His appointment shows just how flimsy Obama's ethical reforms have been and how absurd the official standards are for who is a lobbyist in the influence industry.
Yeah, and I mean, look, I mean, Hillary makes a fine point that maybe they should be hiring lobbyists because they have experience, but then don't go and put in a policy in the first place that says you shouldn't be hiring lobbyists. Now, he's the president of a lobbying firm. Basically, his other partner is his brother. His brother goes to lobby for people and says, hey, you know, my brother, the president of this firm, he's that guy who raises hundreds of thousands of dollars for all you politicians. And I think any American looking at that would say that stinks and that's ridiculous, whether you call him a lobbyist or you don't call him a lobbyist. It's not saying Steve Ricetti's a bad guy. From everything I understand, he's very competent, just the kind of guy you'd want in the White House, but it really doesn't smell good.
And Hillary, I mean, doesn't this come on the heels also of the president basically reversing himself on super PACs as well?
You know, it does come on the heels of super PAC, but this coming on the heels, let's go back to this. He has not gone back on his pledge not to hire lobbyists. Steve Ricchetti is not a lobbyist. When it comes to super PACs, you know what? As soon as Mitt Romney says that he's not going to take $1 billion from super PACs, my guess is Barack Obama would say so too. But there's no way he's going to unilaterally disarm when the Republicans have, empowered themselves with so much money.
Again, I'm not arguing whether it's a smart strategic move for the president to do, but it is the reverse of what he said he would do earlier, correct?
What he said he would do in 2008, which was a different campaign finance system. Now we're in 2012. The system has changed. He's playing in the new system, as anyone who cares about his policies and him being reelected would want him to do. You got a designated hitter rule. Guess what? You go into the World Series, you're going to take advantage of the designated hitter rule. Just no question here.
Dana, is this something that I mean, do you think this opens the president up to charges of hypocrisy?
Well, it certainly opens him to charges of hypocrisy, but the fact of the matter is he may find that it's necessary to do it anyway. The president came here to change Washington, and Washington has changed him. And that's really what's happened here, is he realizes that these are the rules that you have to play by.
Dana, I mean, the White House does have a history of trying to appoint lobbyists to jobs in the administration. I mean, this isn't a one-off. And again, you can say that they're not lobbyists because they're not officially lobbyists, but there's plenty of people in Washington who are lobbying who are not called lobbyists, right?
Exactly, and that's what typically the former elected officials are not registered lobbyists. They're sort of the rainmakers for these lobbying firms. The administration has hired several lobbyists. They gave them waivers in certain cases, but in other cases, you know, a guy who lobbied for Human Rights Watch, lobbying to help torture victims, was said, no, you can't have a job in this administration because you're a lobbyist. And when you say he can't, but the president of a lobbying firm that worked for General Motors and Fannie Mae can, it's hard to sort of justify that, and it doesn't pass the smell test.
Not a lobbyist. Just it doesn't meet any test, and this is just made up.
Well, what do you mean it's made up? Again, the candidate Obama attacked him when he was bundling money for Hillary Clinton, saying Hillary Clinton is accepting bundled money from lobbyists.
Well, and
he still works at the same firm, and now his brother runs that firm.
We're in 4 years later, and he has abided by the rules. The president's abided by the rules. The vice president's abided by the rules in picking him. And kind of end of story. You can decide that he's a lobbyist, but under any existing rule, he's not. And more importantly, he knows what he's doing, and that's something that is going to benefit the American people and the White House.
It depends on what the meaning of is.
Yes, exactly. We sound like we're in Washington speak here. We'll let viewers make up their own mind.
No, it's pretty clear.
All right. We'll let viewers make up their minds. Hillary Rosen, thank you very much. Dana Milbank, thanks.
Thanks, Anderson.